We recently did a video here on YouTube where we analysed our subscribers playing badminton, and what we found was that there were 5 mistakes that almost all of the intermediate players were making that, if they could change, could instantly take them to an advanced level.
So in this video, we're going to share these 5 mistakes and how you can fix them or avoid them entirely to take you from an intermediate to advanced badminton player. Mistake number 1 is trying to win the point too early.
We've all been there. You think you're in a position where you have a 5% chance of hitting a winning shot, so you go for it. And whilst it is good to take these chances sometimes, this is often a big difference between intermediate and advanced players. Advanced players know that if they play 1, 2, or maybe even 3 more shots that still apply pressure to their opponents, but aren't as risky as going for a winning shot, then this 5% can turn into an 80 or 90% chance of hitting a winning shot.
So to fix this common mistake, we'd recommend adopting the mindset of an advanced player and having a focus on being patient and what we call building the rally. Victor Axelsen, for example, definitely has the skills to play tighter shots from positions like this, but he would risk making a mistake. So instead, he plays a less risky shot and still wins the point on the next shot anyway. Again, we're talking about him playing a shot that he knows he can make 10 out of 10 times here, rather than maybe 8 out of 10 times because he's not in the best position possible.
And this ability to be patient leads us nicely onto our second most common mistake, hitting too many hard shots. Hitting every rear court shot as hard as you can is a huge mistake for 2 main reasons. Firstly, your opponents know where the shuttle is going to, and that's often straight to their racket.
And secondly, trying to hit everything hard, even if you're in a good position, can result in you ending up in a bad position. These 2 reasons are often combined together and lead to a situation happening like it did to one of our subscribers, Eric. So instead of trying to hit every rear court shot as hard as you can, you need to build the rally. Maybe try playing a drop shot or slice to move your opponents in, and then hit somewhere really awkward like their right hip. And then finally, you can play a smash winner when you get the short lift.
And it's important to mention that we're not telling you to hit slow and move slow. The aim is to still move fast and look like you can hit it hard, but you have the ability to play a variety of quality shots. So let's show you what you should and shouldn't do. Here, Greg is trying to win the point too early, and he's just smashing everything onto my racket, and it's quite easy for me to defend. But now, if Greg uses variety, and I don't know where he's going to hit to, I'm less prepared and also slightly later onto each shot, meaning that by the 3rd shot, I've hit a short lift and he has an easy smash winner. And an added bonus is that it's going to help him save some energy too.
But it is important to keep in mind that this suggestion will of course depend on A, how good your opponent's defence is, Jenny's is pretty good, and B, the quality of your first lift. Obviously, if this is really short, then you would play your hard smashes.
And if you find your opponent is hitting a lot of hard smashes against you and winning the point, this might mean that your lifting isn't good enough, which brings us on to our 3rd common mistake, your lifting quality and quantity. Now, the importance of this 3rd mistake is hugely underrated, so let's briefly discuss why you're going wrong with your lifting. Firstly, most intermediate players just lift way too much, and this is a mistake we saw a lot in our subscribers' footage. And the quantity of the lifts is often made much worse by the quality of the lifts. The lifts are often either too short or to the middle, which means your opponents don't have to move at all, and this instantly puts you under more pressure.
So how do you fix this mistake? Well, firstly, you can try not to lift as much by using your net shots or pushes into the midcourt. There's often more space than you think. But if you have to lift, or you think that is the best tactic against your opponents, then the one piece of advice that will most improve the quality of your lifting is to have a loose grip. This enables you to use your fingers and thumb, which gives you more control and actually more power.
Lifting is that important, we've already done 2 videos on this, so we'll link both of those in the description below if you want to check them out after learning about mistake 4 and 5 and our bonus mistake.
This 4th mistake is being tense, and it's so common with almost all intermediate players. This impacts many areas of your game, so it's really important to fix. If you're tense at the net or midcourt, then you're likely to be holding your grip tightly, which reduces your ability to change between grips and have control of your shots.
If you're tense in the rear court, you won't be able to generate a fast racket head speed, which hugely limits your ability to create power in your smashes.
And if you're tense in your mind, then you won't be able to think clearly and make good decisions in each rally. We told you being tense affects a lot of your game, but how do you stop being tense?
Well, a good starting point that we'd always recommend is trying to focus on fixing how you hold the racket. As we said in one of our previous videos, if you're holding the racket as tight as you can, it's almost impossible to change grip, let alone change it quickly. Whereas if you're holding it loosely, look how much easier it is to turn the grip. So you should have a gap between the grip and the palm of your hand whilst you're moving to the next shot. If you don't have this gap, then you're holding the racket too tightly and you won't be able to generate as much control and power. From our experience, we found that by just thinking to relax our hand, this then helps us relax more in other areas, such as in our mind.
Now, our fifth mistake is having your racket in the wrong position, especially in the mid-court. This is a big one, and it's something we saw a lot of in the clips our subscribers sent in to us. As you can see here, they're waiting with their rackets nearly touching the ground. And you might not think this is you, but honestly, record yourself playing, and you'll realise it probably is.
But why is this a bad thing? We just told you to be relaxed, and they definitely look relaxed. Well, from a low down position, it takes more time to get your racket to the shuttle, resulting in you taking it later and playing a worse quality shot, or even a lift.
So when your opponent is playing their shot from below the height of the net, you need to get your elbow up and racket roughly in line with the height of the net. There's absolutely no reason not to do this, as they can't play a downward shot. There are times where maybe it's not beneficial to have your racket up this high. We've made a whole video on that, which will again link in the description below.
So they were our 5 mistakes, but we have a 6th bonus mistake for you. And this is that, as much as people think the new Nimbus 4000 racket is going to magically improve their game, it's not.
That's not just a broomstick, Harry. It's a Nimbus 2000.
It's the development of your technical, tactical, physical and mental skills that will have the most impact on your game.
And if you've enjoyed this video, please give it a like, smash the subscribe button if you haven't already, and we'll see you in another video very soon.